Welcome, everyone. Today's Connexus Thursday talk is called She the Peacebuilder Stories of Women Peace Architects in Pakistan. We have some really exciting speakers, so I'll make my part really quick so that we can get to the speakers and then to the discussion. My name is Andrew Willoughby. I work on Connexus. Really excited to be your host today. I'll hand the floor in a moment to our speakers who will share some key achievements from the program, some findings and impact, some recommendations. Then we'll go into case studies, then Q&A. If this is your first Connexus Thursday talk, warm welcome. Hope you'll join us for many more. These sessions are recorded and are posted on Connexus and on YouTube. So during the Q&A, if you share something that you would like to be edited out for safety or security reasons, feel free to email me. I think my email is accessible. If not, email the Connexus, contact us. We can take care of that. When we get to the Q&A and discussion portion, there are two main ways to participate in that discussion. The first and the easiest is the Q&A function that should be on your GoToWebinar dashboard. As you have questions or thoughts or reflections through the presentations, feel free to put those there and we can bring them to our speakers at the end. The other way, you should see a raise hand function, and I'm able to unmute you and you can ask your question directly to engage with the speakers. And I'll remind you again before we get to Q&A, so don't be worried if that was quick. But without further ado, let me throw it to our first speaker. So, Mumtaz, the floor is yours. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Zendrit. Yes, I can start.
Go for it.
Yeah, please. Now, thank you very much. This is a very innovative in Pakistan. We did this project first time in Pakistan. We implemented this project. This is the honor of Aurat Foundation because we had done a lot from learning. I basically did this project, and through this project, this is the launch a new peace initiative led by women, and we form a group of 75 women peace architects from nationwide. So this program was the first time the community leaders are engaged in this program, and they develop and promote the peace, citizen peace narrative based on tolerance, harmony, and to all without discrimination and fear. And this is the also first time we trained the women leader groups at national level on the national plan of action. This is linked with the Pakistan National Plan of Action 2014 and 2020. And this program also linked with the SDGs 16, 10, and 5. And we contributed in these sustainable development goals through different, and we hit the different indicator of SDGs. Pakistan, this through this woman leader group, the She Peacebuilder program, we can educate women peace architect on National Peace Security Resolution 1325. This committed on 1325, but awareness level is very low at the national level and the community level. There was no awareness about this resolution. Through this She Peace the Builder program, we trained the woman peace architect of this group, and this group also addressed on violence against women, significance of 16 days of activism, impart with knowledge about progressive laws enacted in Pakistan for prevention of domestic violence, sexual harassment, and customary practices. So, she the peace builder. This is the not only new initiative, but this changed the woman life, community woman life. And these group of 75 women, they are the different field of life. Like they are the journalists, they are the NGO workers, they are the sportswomen, they are the from religious minorities, they are from different ethnic identities. So this was the very diverse group, and this group contribute a lot. I want to share group. Yes, please move next slide. Yeah, this is the group of 75 women all over Pakistan. Please back Punjab. And these women, they contribute a lot. I also share how first of in these 75 women leader group, the women group on these transforming violence, extremism, and professional leadership skills. We have and this very professionally and very easy way communicate what is the violence, what is not violence, extremism, how you can teach, how you can link your personal and professional lives, and how we can teach uh, uh, how we can address the barriers to these words. So coming from the approach training, this was wonderful training, and after these three trainings, they they are enabled how they can design their action plans to prevent the extremism at community level. When we ask, when we announce the grant cycle, please design your action at community level. We are very much surprised. Out of 75, two women leaders are across Pakistan. They apply for these grants. They find very innovative grants, and finally we are able to search partners, Glow team. We make a committee, and we find grants. They were within and collected grants. Through these grants, they address the public office. They engage the holders, representative government department, including youth, sports, and the women, especially police and enforcement agencies. And they do wonderful work. For example, in Sindh, there was in our Pakistan, we have the district peace committees, but unfortunately, no woman was a member of any peace committee. The peace committee is the constitution of 2025 in each district of Pakistan, but women are missing there. So these women, district government authorities, provincial authorities, and include the women in the district peace committees, and they need we wrote the letter, wrote the education meeting, and finally, see government issued the notification. Please ensure the inclusion of women in district peace committees. Our member of the from Raji and Sector, they become the member of also these committees. So, so to speak, this is the very much sensitive district. Our women peace architect, they closely meet with the district administration and advocacy to include the women in resolution committee. So after we give the thing, our women peace architect, they train the community women and hold the meeting with the district administration, and through this education process, finally they able to notify seven to become the member of these committees. And a number of applications are in process, like 20 women are in process of the selection for the district peace committees in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Such like in Balochistan, they hold advocacy meetings or to anti-harassment committees and the women and Central Board of Education. So they hold a meeting and include the women in the anti-harassment committee. According to law, there was no space for women, but the women were not included in these committees. So this is the work, like work our women peace have done in Pakistan, sensitive areas, sensitive this area of Pakistan with regards to peace and with regards to such like. So next, please. Next, these are the glimpse like this, our woman peace architect from the KP. She is doing Jirga, Lahore women, doing the peace harmony committee, and the advocacy include all women include women in these committees. So please, next, please. They hold the meeting on this issue also. This is the Sawat. You can see on when women come out from home, where you can guide the woman to access the information, the shelter, and the other things. Yes, please. Yes, next. This is the and they are also India Forum for the Inclusion of Women and other. This is also, yes, please. Next, please. This conducted in. They also address the financial. They have no information about that, how they open their accounts, how they can, if they had agreements, if they can do agreements, what things they should be, address. Yes, please. Next, please. Yeah, our Balochistan colleague, she also done a wonderful work. One of our you know, enrollment rate is close to achieve quite the this is our one of the training session with students to inclusion of women in peace process. Yes. Next, please. Next. Yeah. They are this program. One of them become the member of the Child Right Commission for the status of women, and through this program, we reach around 20,000 women. But indirectly, 15 million media campaign, especially this is the first time in Pakistan, they have done a wonderful work at community level and at the national level. They asked government officials, the stakeholders, they were very much inspired with the peace architect works. Yes, please. Next. Next. One interesting thing I want to share because in Pakistan we have a number of national program, peace programs, but these programs are not common enterprise program with regards to inclusion of peace and women. So he is a peace builder program, one leading program in Pakistan and government economic program, which is their statement, and they find they tested this finding or the program. So we are very much yes, please. This is the final. Thank you very much.
Kim Taz. Sorry, I'll give you the floor. Let me pull your slide. And there we go. Floor's yours. Thank you, Mumtaz.
Thanks, Ramdev. Thanks, colleague. It's nice talking to you. Such a wonderful journey it was, the journey of learning for our program, She the Peace Builder, with Search for Common Ground, Aurat Foundation, and Kadam Communication. I'm myself Saeed, and I'm part of a research team known as Glow Consultant. So, next slide, please. So, what is the program She the Peace Builder all about? It's basically a program about 75 women peace architects from across the country, or our country, Pakistan. We are a country which is faced with a lot of challenges. We have active conflict going on with our neighbors and within the country as well. So the program was developed where the women peace architect are promoting peace. And as part of this program, 75 different activities took place with these women leaders in terms of conflict resolution and peace building process. Next slide, please. So first, we'll speak about some of the numbers, the achievements itself, what is being achieved. So in terms of the number who find the TV guide and training content useful, the target was 98 and we achieved 75. Then there was also the number with the increased skills in facilitation and collaboration technique and TV approach. The program exceeded its target of where the target was 60%, achievement was around 74%. The capacity of the women peace architects on the TV training was built. The outreach to the social media, which was initially 10,000, it was four times or more achieved, four times. So 40,000 was achieved. Similarly, a key component of the program, the community-based initiatives, 15 was the target, and there was 33 different initiative basically implemented. Next slide, please. So seeing is believing. So what we did is let's come up with some numbers which we can present and we can show you what it means. So this is one of our peace architect, and as part of our learning journey, we had the opportunity to see her work as part of the police officers and others. On one hand, they do provide protection, but at the same time, they are the first responders. So these women architect, they work with the police to make their response more humane, more articulate, and use them as a peace ambassadors as well. Next slide, please. This is also another group of police where this is one of the new another woman peace architect who worked with another group of police, again sensitizing them on the human rights, on peace building, on conflict resolutions. And the message is the same: if you have a sensitized, strong, responsive police, it will mean that many of the conflict will resolve before it even reaches the next level, or even if it gets escalated. Next slide, please. This is another group of, because the strength of this program was also the geographical spread. So it's a huge country. It's a country of 225 million people. So what happened is that, and we are having a huge public service. So again, another peace architect was thinking on the same lines, working with the law enforcement entities, that how they can be a catalyst in terms of inclusive peace building. Next slide, please. So, when we talk about peace, when we talk about inclusivity, it's not only about uh, those who got the able bodies, but also the person with disabilities. And when we talk about person with disabilities, many times they are left out. They are left out of sports. They are left out of public places. They are left out of the basic joys of life. So, as a woman peace architect, they engage women with disabilities to promote inclusive peace building in communities, and also to give them a reason to enjoy their life despite all the challenges which they have to face. Next slide, please. This is another group of women with disabilities who were engaged into peace building activities. One of our research said that these women with disabilities, they are more receptive to new ideas. They are nicer to the communities, other communities, and something to do, maybe potentially they reflect on their own state, and that's why they are they are their compassion, they are more compassionate as compared to other fellow humans. So when these women architect work with them, it enabled them to spread the message of peace more forcefully as compared to many of us who will not even realize that what does it mean to be being a marginalized, being somebody from a minority community. Next slide, please. Again, one of the key aspect is also the alternative dispute resolution and working with the lawyers. So one of our women peace architects, she said that why everything needs to go to the court, why can't people address these challenges themselves? And for this purpose, she worked with the lawyers to help them in terms of the alternative dispute resolution, and she worked on them. Next slide, please. Another group of lawyers with whom the program worked, and promoting that empowering women in the law and judicial system can mean that the women voices can be heard more forcefully, more nicely, and it can promote peace and inclusive development in the country and make a more cohesive society. Next slide, please. Minorities, the religious minorities are a key segment, and many times they are the one who are at the receiving end when we talk about any conflict, any social cohesion. So it's quite important to use them and engage them in terms of the peace building activities, and also use them as an architect, as an advocate for peace building activities. And for this purpose, one of our peace architect, women peace architect, she worked with the religious minorities, which include my communities from the Christian communities, communities from the Hindu communities, Sikh communities, and others, and brought them together with the majority communities and engaged them in the peace process. Children. So the previous slide is talking about the children and also their engagement in the environment activities. So we see that children are taking up proactive roles through creative art, the drama and related activities to promote a green and clean Pakistan, something which we need, especially in the face of climate disasters, which is also perpetuating the conflict in the communities and the resource gaps. The pictures which you are seeing now, this is from a prison, the juvenile prison, where the woman peace architect work with the juvenile offender and are kind of encourage, because they have a long life in front of them, encouraging them that how they can change the life, a direction which they are taking now should be changed to a peaceful, more constructive, and more responsive for your fellow citizen and countrymen. Next slide, please. This is with the women, with the girl students. Girls are the one who face a lot of challenges when they go to the public spaces. If many of them, they don't have a public life at all. So this the women peace architect work with the youth, especially the women, on the importance of the youth role in the peace building. And what we saw recently in Bangladesh, it also speaks a lot about it, the importance of youth. in terms of changing the course of a country. Next slide, please. Sport is something which is kind of an exclusive domain for boys, but not anymore. Our women peace architect work with the young girls from colleges, from universities, engage them into the sports activities and use sports as a vehicle to promote peace in peace related activities. Next slide, please. Again, some young boys and girls who are 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, very young people, and you can see that they were using their energy for creative sports. I'll just take 2 more minutes and then hand over to you, Zender. Next slide, please. We already spoke about it. This is also about the girls. These are the girls who were to leave their homes. We call it the shelter homes, or Darul Aman, the houses of peace. These are the ones who have no place to stay. And our women peace architect, they worked in these safe haven for young girls so that they have a life. Otherwise, they have no safeguards and no protection other than the state, and they are living here. So the women peace architect worked with them and to see that there is a life beyond the suffering which they have endured as part of their life. And next slide, please. So our learning journey took us to the Afghan refugees. So it's not only the host country, the Pakistani population who are facing, it's also the Afghan refugees who are in the country who face so much trouble back home, and they were to leave their home after the takeover of the new authorities in Kabul. So our women peace architect work with them to reduce their suffering and show them again that there is a path of peace, something which they can take, and also bringing the social cohesion between Afghan and Pakistani communities. So the learning journey, why the learning journey continue only to confines of a boundaries, a building, our college, our university, our sports? Why not is on the road? And this rickshaws, the tuk-tuks, whatever you call it, the helpline numbers, the protection numbers, which women can call, minorities can call, children can call, and they can seek assistance. So the one of the women peace architect worked with these public transport, which is used in the low income sides of the city to promote these numbers. And what it means is that there will be less violence, less domestic violence, less violence on the basis of your gender, on the basis of your religion, caste. 2 more slides and then I'll call it today. Next slide, please. So, what is the important one? Let's say the transformation. The transformation is about what the people say. So, one person, one of our women peace architects said that to effectively transform extremism, we must embark on a journey to reshape the human psyche. This is about fostering a culture of acceptance, empathy, and understanding. I think this sums up a lot about what the program was all about. Another quote I'll just mention: if we all know what our own roles and responsibility, then we can better know how to moderate in our society. Again, the role which each individual of us can play is, I think, is going to shape the whole society. So there are some more quotes, but I'll skip it. I think with this we can go back to Zender. Over to you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Saeed. Shahid, will hand it to you. Your slides are making me think once wheelchair cricket is a part of the Paralympics that Pakistan will have a strong team. Shahid, do we have you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I will keep this momentum. I will try to keep this momentum since it's a wonderful journey of 2.5 years. My responsibility is to share the key recommendation from this project to the government or the civil society or anyone who is responsible for this women inclusion and women role in the peace building. Thank you. Next, please. So I usually try to emulate this recommendation in 5 key areas like education, governance, law enforcement, media, and community engagement. First, education, like one of the recommendation, which these recommendation came from our national conferences. These are also continuation of all the activities conducted in different provinces. So one of the key recommendation about the education is that reviews the national education policies. Usually we have a national education policy is intact, but it is outdated. It's not address multicultural or discrimination. So it's a cause of discrimination because in our textbook there's a lot of diversity. So there was a high demand of the revised education curriculums. So because when the student read it, like we have a wrong perception of the jihad or relation with the neighbors. So that this education system should be changed. And there's a public education syllabus. We have to conduct a culture of active citizenry because, for example, the women are not inclusive in the political system, for example. There's for the fight of 33 years old, 35 years of activism. Now the women are getting just nominations from the 33% of the quota in the national to engage the young lot into the active political system as well. And the second is the governance. So newly, there's a need. For example, in new assemblies, in every assembly, we have like a 60%. Sometimes there's a 40% of the new faces in the assembly. So there's a need of for these legislative bodies. And we also have to need of because there's a no local governance system in Pakistan. So it was a wish and will of the ruling party will he continue with this local governance system or not. So there's a strong demand that this whole system is should be interacted. Another thing is this was a key that common ground approach is to be because it was highly appreciated by the women peace architect in our training that common ground approach should be in a part of training of the newly elected or the local body system as well. And again, there is a need of parliamentary oversight and reporting mechanism because it's the policies are implemented. Okay, and there should be a mechanism of monitoring as well. There is a no system of monitoring, and the women are part of the different committees, but are they actually participated in these action committees or not? But there is a need of actually oversight and reporting mechanism. And again, the mainstream policies that support women participating in leadership positions to ensure representation of women in this government. The women are in assemblies, women are in every public sector, women are in offices, women are in the ministries. But are they active? Are they active? Are they possess the leading positions? No, they are not. They are not. So there's a need of how we can make women to be part of these action committees. First, action committee are fine, a part of this harassment committees or peace committee is fine, but are they active? Are they giving them a leadership role? If there's an issue of the women, are they sure that women are taking responsibility to solve this type of process as well, both in public and private sector? But yes, no. So this is a recommendation to government by the WPA that women should be part and they should be in a leadership role. Yeah, next slide, please. Next slide. And the third segment is which very important, law enforcement. Yes, there's a budget for the law enforcement agencies, but there is a sort of balance, for example, in a budget. For example, as Said said, there's a lot of women work with the police department. So because there's a need. Police is a public policing in Pakistan. First of all, if you have a case, for example, again, and anything from they have to, the first they have to knock the door is the police. So there's a need to train train police on that, first of all. And the second is there's a need to balance between the law enforcement agencies. There are two occasions to have a lot of funds, but police is not that much sufficient trained, and they are not that much well prepared. So the second commission with the gave the developed mechanism to monitor the process of the laws on controlling hate speech. Yes, there is a lot of hate speech. For example, in the last 5 or 6 years, it is increasing the hate speech, specifically for the women, because usually it's the culprit who take advantage or misquote the Islamic verses against the woman. So there's a need of how to control hate speech on the social media or because this increased the violent extremism against the women and specifically against the minorities as well. And the third state should be separate legal and center specifically for the minority women. Yet again, I said that women minorities is all they are very well come into the issues. But when you talk about specifically that specifically because of the minority women, they are more vulnerable to this harassment or sort of thing. And again, there is a training program for the law enforcement officers. We did a lot of things on that. But again, there is a advanced level, and because they asked that should we have a specialized training program because we see here training is not that much enough, but there should be a like 6-7 months program for the law enforcement agency, for example, the counterterrorism authority and for the different departments who specifically address these sort of issues. There's a strong need of ties and trust between enforcement agencies, community leaders, and religious institutions. Yes, they're highly by the WPA and recommendation by them that there should be a certain kind of trust between the legal agencies and the different law enforcement agencies and religious counterparts as well. Next, please. Yeah, media is very important. So we have more than 100 channels in Pakistan, and they're very active. So a lot of organizations and media channels are working on certain issues. So we should strengthen these media institutions because the media is not serious of the fifth pillar of Pakistan, and that's the issue. We should strengthen them, and we have to campaign. There should be a campaign launched on the media about these issues, how women can be part of this mainstream thing, and how we can empower them as well. An extend media literacy program, for example, yes, there should be a specific time at least used to extremist propaganda and recognize the importance of a diverse source of information, or we can make it possible through this media. And broadcast state-funded public service announcements. We tried our best to make public service messages to our social media to this project, but there is a need of more like a sort of a government funded project to make this possible. So there's a Param Pakistan. There is a Param Pakistan is a successful program to counter violent extremism. So we have to support this Param Pakistan. So this is a message of Pakistan to the terrorists, to those are responsible for this hate speech or the violent extremism. So we should strengthen this Param Pakistan. It's a very successful program by the government of Pakistan. We should support them and collect and share data to information on violent on a women roles in peace building efforts in Pakistan and women role model to inspire other women and girls who take on similar roles in their communities. Yes, where we have to highlight few case studies. There's a need, for example, the Malala Yousafzai is a study, but we have to engage more girls and recognize more efforts by the women. Then we will have to generate a lot of case studies to make them that these are the leaders and champions of peace in Pakistan. Next slide, please. Yeah, how we can engage the community. This is the most important part. That yes, NGOs and the civil society government are working, so there's a need of community engagement. So how 75 women can change the overall spectrum of Pakistan, but there's a more need to engage women peace architects to accelerate women role in peaceful and conflict. So we have to enhance this program and engage local NGOs to establish youth forums for both girls and boys. Yes, youth is like 65, more than 65% of Pakistani, they are the youth. They are the under, and they're considered as the youth, so there is more programming and they are to give them a chance to work within the communities and give them a chance to work at the community level. So the local laws enforcement should be enhanced, and we can have to engage like other regions and public sectors to work on this segment as well. And the third one is develop individual nutrition plans for the detainees and their families that consider the unique needs and experience of each, including assessing mental health. There's a lot of issues or would they need psychosocial support as well. The women are very much harassed on the street of Pakistan. They are in institutions. So they are, but the reporting system is weak. And above all, the mental health issues are there. So there is a lot of institutions that are working to have to strengthen them to how we can make sure that their mental health and their physical health is safe and they are good to work, rejoin or their life again. Ensure the provision of financial assistance. Yes, there's a literacy. For example, 50% of Pakistan population is females, but they are very less numbers. They are entrepreneurs. So we have to build a set of program that are being they should be provided a chance to work to generate money and they can be helpful for the families as well. And increase collaboration and religious leaders and community influence to foster support. Yes, there's a need because Pakistan is an Islamic country. More than 90% of the population is Muslim. So there's a misuse of Islamic, as I said. So we need to encourage religious leaders to support women role in peace building or women inclusion in Pakistan. And so there's small steps are really taken by the government, but there's a need of comprehensive implementation mechanism by all the civil society and the government. So yes, national action plan is there. A lot of other things are there, but it is not implemented in a true sense. So there's a need to have a comprehensive So we have submitted these. There's a lot of others, like the 75 recommendations, but I make a crux of all the recommendation in education and awareness. Thank you, Zender.
Wonderful. Thank you, Shahid. We'll switch gears now from sort of reflection on the program, recommendations on all of that, and go into a couple case studies from the program to share some experience. So, Najiba, I'll hand the floor to you first. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Zender and everyone. I would like to introduce myself. I'm Najiba Sayed. Basically, I belong to one of the marginalized provinces in Pakistan called Balochistan. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to come and discuss how I became part of this program. So my journey, which starts in the development sector, is I believe, very unique in terms of starting it from one of the areas which was very much known for instability in terms of its security and law and order situation. From last 2 decades, I jump into the development sector as a young person myself and started working with an organization to develop a platform for young people. By young people, I mean youth in Pakistan who were very much vulnerable, including myself, to all these extremist ideologies and the radicalization at that point of the time. So I started to be part of one of the organization which I'm one of the co-founder of it, called College for Youth Activism and Development, which created for engagement of young people in through diversified engagement. They are provided with positive engagement opportunities so they can work on their development and to connect them with their communities in order to play their role for the welfare of the communities and also become contributor for the welfare of the country too. So this is how I started, as being part of the organization which is called SIAD. So if we look at the context of Balochistan, it's a very marginalized province in many ways. So keeping it to this peace and security situation, many of you might have heard about the recent incidents happened in the last week and in this week too. So this is, I believe that my role as a woman was very crucial in playing my part in engagement with youth. So I have very extensive experience in youth development. My work remained on peace building efforts, de-radicalization of youth, promoting peace through creative expression, empowering women through creative means, conducting several researches which could tell us about the real drivers of pushing these youth towards radical views or extremist forces. So this is how I started. What motivated me to be part of this project was this idea of enhancing women's role and influence in peace building efforts. So this is main motivation for me, that women in Pakistan particularly has very less say in peace building processes, because coming from a patriarchal background, peace building processes or methods are confined as a men job. So women have very less role and less say in it. They are either engaged to a capacity building phase, but what will they do to all the capacity being built when they don't have any say, no platforms for them to be part of it and play their role as a contributor and start doing something to engage young people or play their role in peace building processes. So this was one of my motivation to be part of this journey. Like everyone shared, that it was indeed a wonderful journey. This is going to help women to enhance their role and influence in the decision making and all these efforts. So for me, the peace building program and the key takeaways from it was its capacity building phase, the networking opportunity it provided to us, the learning that I took as a main takeaway for me to integrate into my existing work where I'm already contributing, and how this is enhancing my capacity as a peace practitioner. So this was a kind of motivation for me to be part of the journey, but not confining myself to the capacity building phase, but also helping me to work and have this freedom of engagement with like-minded people, with a network of like-minded women who came with diverse backgrounds, with all different contexts where they belong to. So that for me, the significant part of the capacity building was that how it was helping communities to coexist with each other, to connect back with their values, but also understand the value of diversity, have more, like Mumtaz mentioned, that to promote tolerance, coexistence, and promote harmony, which is not something that it can be achieved over the night, but it's a thorough process of engagement for people to who are part of the journey. So for me, looking at the capacity building phase stand as a standalone identity, I choose to work with Afghan women because I felt that engaging another cadre of women will multiply the effect of the program. So for me, this capacity building phase was one of the very interesting feature of the program, especially the module, which was wonderfully designed for the audience that I choose to work in promotion of empathy, in understanding, in developing understanding of the people, of the multiple layers of their identity. Because for young people, it's very important for them to understand themselves and to develop their worldview through their own lenses. So how this opportunity could help them to understand themselves, understand their context. Diverse groups were living together, but they were unable to relate to each other because of the cultural differences, because of the after fall of the Kabul, like the Afghan refugees were fled from their country, so they were in very different ways vulnerable to harassment, vulnerable to different form of violence in their communities. So I wanted to bring women from Afghan refugee communities and both from both communities in order to have them understand the dynamics of these things are happening around them. What is the game around the disconnection, around the discomfort that is being caused to them, or they felt alienated about it. So, especially the CGA module, I loved the content, the way it was designed, helping people to understand each other, empathize with each other, build on the collaboration so that they can become contributor to the welfare of their communities, to bring people together, to build connection and ensure inclusion of everyone. So from my perspective, I believe that in order to understand, to include people, it is very important to understand why exclusion happens, why people are marginalized, what are the factors that contribute to it. So when you understand this is very easy for them to not let that happen to others. This all content helped me to help them understand that how being different, living with a different cultural background and surrounding, but they can still have a very dignified life in Pakistan. Speaking of the achievements, like Mumtaz, Saeed, and Shahid mentioned, that there has been tremendous work done by all of us, these 75 women throughout the country. This not only helped to develop our capacity, but also helped other women to emerge as a leader, to have their say, to have their influence in the decision making, as mentioned by Mumtaz very thoroughly. So part of the work remained to capacity development of the women groups that I engaged, conducted dialogues with them, and documented the stories of resilience, which helped me to understand their perspective, which helped me to be more open to what people are feeling, to what people went through, and how they brought up the wisdom that they were carrying with themselves, and how this was very connected, but they could not identify those connecting notes themselves. But the workshops, the training opportunities, the dialogue forum helped them to not only come on the forum, have their say, but also pledge to take actions in order to be more connected, more empathetic towards each other. And also, one of the main source of motivation for me remained from this program was like this networking event happening to different intervals during the program helped me to understand different capacities of women working throughout the country. And I learned that women are playing their role. However, because there is less visibility, they are less on the decision making roles, that's why it's invisible what they are contributing. So one of the key achievement for me from this project was participating in the national conference, where I myself became a panelist, and I was given the opportunity to share what my journey was and how this changed people's life. And that moment was a sense of achievement, where what I shared was largely appreciated by the audience. And another key aspect of the program was that the women who was documenting the stories with me, she managed to win another grant of 1.5 million to continue what I started, and how this is still multiplying. So the program has not only increased the visibility and recognition of young women, in my case, young women, especially when I was working with youth and inspiring and empowering others through storytelling. The Fusion event was an opportunity for women and other stakeholders to come together, sit together, understand different dimensions of their culture, understand how the collectivism remains. I have this privilege of having this forum of my organization where I am integrating all these learning from which are key takeaways from this program, take and integrate into my existing programs where I'm multiplying the effects of engaging young people through different programs. And it is indeed enhancing my role and my influence as a women peace architect. I believe that such programs are really needed in Pakistan, especially in the context of women engagement, where women has less say, where we stay on an index where women is still vulnerable to violence. And I believe that engaging women can play a very critical role in ensuring her role and influence in engaging other women of background and understanding that how her role can influence and ensure stability in the country. I think this is enough from my side, Zender. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Najiba. I wish I could listen to each of you speak all day. We'll go to Catherine for our last case study, our last speaker of today. I know some people may have to jump to other meetings or things, so we thank you for those who could stay with us to the end. Feel free to continue to put your questions in the chat, and I'll connect you directly with the speakers for responses. But Catherine, the floor is yours. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Zender, and good morning and good evening to everyone. Let me introduce myself. I am Sister Catherine from the Catholic Church, and I am very, very grateful to the team for giving me the opportunity to share my experience and learning during this journey of as a woman peace architect. And it has given me immense of confidence that we are very much included in this project on the being in minority group, because in being a Christian in this country where the majority is Muslim, and we are really many time we are facing little difficult time, but most of the time we are enjoying the blessing of being a Pakistani minority here. So, what I have achieved through this project, she's the peace builder and women peace architect. First of all, conscientization was there, awareness, building through outreach, minority community in the society. So, my project was given that I have to reach out to my minority communities, and where Hindu, Parsi, and Sikh and Christians were included, and people with disability also, and transgender community. This was very much first experience for me to attend when I attended this training program. And in that, I saw transgender member also. It was very first time like I related, because we never had the opportunity to relate. So that was very unique experience, like accepting others as they are and who they are. After all, they are human being, and that is what we are taught from the very beginning in our church and in our schools. So basically, I'm working in the school. I'm the head teacher, and for the last 25 years, I'm in administration in different convent schools. So my focus was the young girls to become effective citizen of Pakistan, whoever they are, even they are from majority community or they are from minority community, but they are all, they have the role to play in future. So many young girls have taken up the positive role in the society through our education. So being in this peace architect women, I think it was very unique journey. And I was invited by the Aurat Foundation, and one of the colleague working there, she invited me, and I never thought that it will be very positive, and I will be enriching more to others. And this 75 women and their unique stories have given me lot of confidence that we all have a role to play in our society. And then especially for the protection of rights of minorities. So like I am now very much engaged conducting programs in my own communities, and even Hindu and Parsi, having very good collaboration with them. So we conducted one of the activities in the Hindu mandir, and which the priest of the temple said, we never give our place, but because sister you have asked, so you are my sister, and we will do. So from that time we are very much like in a good relationship, and he is ready to give venue to be used and to conscientize people for their rights and for their positive role, and especially women meeting in the temple. So I think what is my the biggest achievement is also that I have learned how to prevent conflict and violence, engage people in peace process activities. Like I'm dealing with the young minds, and I think as sir has Mr. Shahid has in recommendation education, and that's my passion. Like in, if we have education, and through education right teaching is given to our young children, and their minds are formed in that they start loving peace, harmony, tolerance, definitely we will be living in a peaceful country. So if a youngster now only are engaged in positive activities, so they will surely practice in their lives. And also what I learn is to work with others in the spirit of harmony and positivity. So women are able to address issues like gender based violence, human rights, and community building because of their experiences. And women are, I think, very agent of change, because they can sense very much with passion, and also they have a heart to feel. It our desire is that women should be included in the decision making at a government level, because the way women think and perceive things and see the situation, I don't think many men can do. So women, I think, are the best target to train for any country and any society. So I am very, what is like my own learning personally, like I believe that peace began from the very individual person within ourselves. If I uh, believe in peace and I want to spread peace, so my relations, my behavior will all will be based on this, that no one should be hurt, no one should be harmed through my speech, through my act. So therefore, being a religious minority in Pakistan, we are already peace loving people. Church in Pakistan and even Hindu community, Parsi community, they are all loving, peace loving people. And sometimes they are the soft target in my country. That is the sad reality. Like many times, our churches have been burnt, people are killed, and others will take law in their hand. And I think Mr. Shahid, in his recommendation, said law and law enforcement. If our law is working, and so no one has right to take law in their hands. So that is the teaching we have to people. He also mentioned about Pakistan. Yes, when I was in Islamabad attending this conference, 75 women's work was displayed and shared. So that time I just got a call from the directorate of private schools, and she said, oh, there is a PEG program, and we want your school to present a tableau
which will stress on peace, harmony, and tolerance. And we did very well, and thank God. I also conducted Environment Day, so children has been given awareness of the climate change and how they can care for their environment. And on 14 August, when we were celebrating, and believe me, I was so impressed. One class, one child brought this plant for me, and they said, "Sister, this is for you." And as you said, we all have to plant one plant, so I brought for you. From that day, it is in my office, and I said, yes, we are going to put in a ground. So this peace loving and environment loving people we are creating, and I think this is the very positive result of this training, where I am including more and more students, teachers, and community members. And because like religious minorities, you all know the situation of a religious minority in Pakistan, and no one wants to be considered to be on the edge of society or community. Maybe it's time to find a new word than minority, as minority defines a group as being distinct from the majority. I always wish there should be no word of minority, because we are all Pakistani, and we all love Pakistan, and we all are taking a message of peace to whom we meet and wherever we work. And it is, and for the truth, in all of us have at some point in our lives felt different to others, and we all wish for acceptance in our families and communities. And that is where this training is given us the key message, that we have to accept each other, we have to respect each other's belief and faith, and we make sure that no one is left at the edge of the society. Everyone is included. There's a inclusion of women is a positive step from this project. And I think this 75 women trained as a women peace architect is not enough. We have to reach in each and every corner of our country. And as Najiba said, Balochistan has just faced terrorism. And what about those men who've been killed? And what about the lives of those women at home? So, are we bringing peace in their lives? I wish everyone is educated in this, and we need to work more and more in this, where peace, harmony will prevail. And I believe we all bring different and rich colors to the tapestry, which we call society, where our diversity is not something to separate us, but rather to unite us. Our unity is in diversity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you much, Sister Catherine. Thank you so much to each of our speakers. I know we went a little bit over time, so thank you all for staying with us. What we'll do is, if you have follow-up questions, if you'd like to learn more from each of our speakers or have a call with them, please contact me and I can connect you. Just email info@connexus.org and we can make sure that that connection happens. So thank you so much to each of our sisters, to Sister Catherine, Taz, Ajiba, Saeed, and Shahid. And a big thank you to Shabnam and Shahid from Search for Common Ground for helping. I'm very excited to go back through the recording and have a second listen. Speaking of the recording, that will be on Connexus and YouTube in the coming weeks if you want to go back or share this session with your colleagues. And I'll confirm with the speakers to share the slides for that. I also put a couple links in the chat. We have some upcoming discussions here on Connexus next week discussing religious minorities in Bangladesh throughout all of the political turmoil of the last few weeks. And then in a few weeks, we will be focusing on the intersection of climate change, conflict, and freedom of religion or belief. So we'd love to have all of your voices in those discussions, or if you'd just like to join us to listen in to some of the experts that we'll be bringing in, that's great too. But thank you one last time to all of you for joining us and to each of our speakers for joining us today. Thank you all. Have a great day.